tonight on WBOC News at 6.
A meteorite mission on Maryland's eastern shore will show you the search for rare stellar stones. Maryland watermen seeking a legal lifesaver, why they're calling on the state's top prosecutor for help, and a financial speed bump for some Milford businesses, why they say a big bridge project is putting a crunch on their livelihoods.
Covering all of Delmarva, this is WBOC News at 6, Delmarva's news leader.
Well, a fireball from space becomes a Delmarva star for meteorite hunters. Good evening. Thanks for joining us for WBOC News at 6. I'm Steve Hammond. Researchers believe a meteorite may have landed on Maryland's eastern shore. We showed you this video sent to us by Brandy Sini of a bright light streaking through the sky in Concord, just outside of Seaford. The video was captured early Wednesday morning about 3:45. Others asked about it on social media, but we are not alone. The phenomenon awed people all across the region. Now, researchers with the American Meteor Society say they received 50 reports from 6 different states. All reported seeing that same bright light. And as you can see, some video clearly shows the ball streak across the morning sky. The reports came from as far north as Binghamton, New York, and as far southwest as Chesapeake Beach, Maryland. So now meteorite hunters have a big area of the peninsula to cover. That flash of light was the rock exploding into fragments high above our heads. But it's believed the best chance of finding those bits and pieces is in Caroline and Dorchester counties. We have comprehensive coverage for you tonight. Meteorologist Dan Satterfield will give us the scientific significance of this event. But we will begin with WBOC's Kyle Lawrence, who spent the day with American Meteor Society researchers and meteorite hunters. Kyle, you guys looked all over. No meteorites so far, but this is an adventure that takes a lot of patience and a little bit of luck.
Steve, we searched high and low all morning and all afternoon, and no, we did not find a meteorite, but we're staying optimistic because we were able to get access to this farmland behind me, and for meteorite hunters, open land like this can be a potential gold mine. If you don't know what you're looking for, a meteorite will be impossible to find. Wednesday's day began at the Federalsburg Marina with Mike Hankey and Roberto Vargas, 2 meteorite hunters and members of the American Meteor Society. Then their small meteorite hunt began in the nearby park. But only a couple pairs of eyes just isn't enough to search big areas like Dorchester and Caroline counties.
The more locals you get involved, the more eyes on the ground, the more likelihood there is of actually finding something.
In downtown Federalsburg, the meteorite hunters meet local Franklin Baker. You hear meteorite, what's your first thought going through your head?
I was stunned,
And once Baker knew what he was looking for,
This outer shell is called fusion crust, and that's a result of burning through the atmosphere.
Okay.
The inside is usually this cement-like color.
the search party had successfully grown. But after getting frustrated by a misleading piece of coal, the search moves to Hurlock, another area Mike and Roberto were hopeful would contain what they're looking for, an open farm field. The only tricky part was convincing Farmer Jeff to let them take a look around.
So as a landowner, if I was saying to you, hey, can we hunt your land? The best deal I would do, and he would probably also kill me for saying this, would be like, can we split it 50-50?
And that's when Jeff said the 4 magic words every meteorite hunter yearns for.
Yeah, I don't care.
So Mike and Roberto hit the fields, and that's where Wednesday's hunt ended. No meteorite was found, but these hunters aren't losing hope just yet. Their sights are set on our area after videos like these brought them here. So they'll keep looking, because in a field like this, if you look long enough, you just might find one of these. Mike and Roberto plan on sticking around Federalsburg and Hurlock until early next week, but they would love your help. And if you end up finding what you believe is a meteorite, please let us at WBOC know, or let Mike and Roberto know. We'll have their contact information on our website and news app. But for now, live from the meteorite hunting grounds, Kyle Lawrence, WBOC News, Delmarva's news leader.
All right, Kyle, thank you for that. Now, meteorite hunters on Delmarva is not something we see here every day. In Maryland, only 4 meteorites have ever been found, while in Delaware, a meteorite has never turned up. Virginia is at the top of the leaderboard, though, for meteorite finds with a whopping total of 18. Now, meteorologist Dan Satterfield here at the desk with me. Dan, we touched on this briefly, but something like this is very rare.
Yeah, if you have a meteor, if you find one, a meteorite, you're talking thousands of dollars. Now, I think this was a meteor, not space junk, because it came in from the northeast to southwest.
Okay.
Most orbits of space junk or space satellites are west to east. So yeah, it probably was a meteorite. If they find it, they have a lot of money there.
Now, there are reports that this meteorite was green. What is the significance of that?
Yeah, that's another clue that this was a space rock. Green would be nickel. You heat up nickel, it glows green. It looked to me also to have a bit of a bluish glow to it. That would be magnesium. So I wish them luck. They'll be able to sell it to a museum for a lot of money.
Indeed. All right, Dan Satterfield, thanks for seeing the forecast in just a little bit.
Okay.
Well, for more information on this celestial phenomenon and to check out some more of that video, you can turn to the WBOC News app or our website. Moving on now, some breaking news out of Wicomico County late today. WBOC has learned that pharmaceutical company Jubilant Cadista will close its Salisbury facility in June. WBOC obtained a release from Jubilant Cadista's parent company, Jubilant Pharmova, stating that the first phase of this closure in Salisbury will begin on June 17th. The company says lower prices for generic drugs has led to losses since 2022. There's no word yet on how many jobs will be lost at that facility, which is on Kiley Drive in Salisbury. A pair of deadly shootings in Dover seem to be connected. Dover police confirmed to WBOC that Sunday morning's incidents are related. Investigators would not release any more information about this. They accused, though, Sadiq Ingram of opening fire on two people near Irish Mike's Pub in Dover. Sincere Friends was killed. Brushawn Best is accused of shooting and killing a 15-year-old at another scene later that day. Charter boat captains in Maryland are calling on state leaders now to join their lawsuit against a federal agency. The agency just enacted new regulations that the fishermen say could really kill their business. WBOC's Lauren Miller joins us in the Newsplex with more on this tonight. Lauren, those captains recently had their hearing in court, but apparently it didn't go too well for them.
Yeah, Steve, last Friday, the Delmarva Fisheries Association, along with the Atlantic States Marine Fisheries Commission, were in court arguing over these new regulations, which are how many fish can be kept per person and the size of those fish. Our local fishermen wanted a preliminary injunction to stop them, but the judge denied that injunction. So now local charter boat captains want the Attorney General to join them in this suit. According to Brian Hardman with the Maryland Charter Boat Association, captains are already suffering from these new striped bass regulations.
It's been a significant decline, and I've talked to all the charter boat members on there. We originally thought it was going to be a 45 to 50% decrease. It's more in the line of 65 to 70%. I got a lot of charter boats now that are still in single digits. Guys that would right now have 65 trips booked have 16. In this letter sent to the Attorney General and Governor Moore, Rob Newberry with the Delmarva Fisheries Association and Brian Hardman are asking the Attorney General to support their effort. This is going to have a huge economic downturn on the tourism in there, not only just the charter boats, but all the businesses that are around all these marinas, the people that come down for the weekends, so hotels and restaurants. They hope this request will give them another chance. We were hoping that we were going to get the injunction in order to proceed forward on the merits of it, which we have good merits on the case, why it's affecting us and what the ruling does. But there's one hurdle. If we can get over that, it seems like we will get our day in court. Hardman says if they got the Attorney General behind them, he hopes the judge would reconsider hearing the case. Well, we reached out to the governor's office. We did not hear back, but the Attorney General's office told us they are not able to comment at this time. Steve.
All right, stay tuned for more. Thank you, Lauren. A project to make a Milford Bridge widely accessible and to deter speeders is well underway. We've been telling you about that, but as WBOC's Kirsten Clark tells us, the change is bringing improvements to Milford while also bringing challenges to businesses.
Steve, orange signs like these and the banging and clanging of construction tools are sure signs of repairs happening here on North Walnut Street. But businesses we spoke with say they are feeling the impact on their sales and patronage.
Many business owners say they were unaware of the project seen here from Chopper 16 until it began. Shock Vinyl owner Mark Clary says he has only made 1 or 2 sales some days since construction began on March 18th. A big drop from what he usually sees.
People are feeling that they don't want to deal with the hassle of trying to come downtown and park
Despite closure signs blocking roadways, there is still access to parking spots near businesses. Sherry Shoup at the pharmacy market says she thinks the timing of the project has made matters worse, especially while DelDOT is working on a sidewalk renovation project simultaneously on Front Street.
And this is the time of the season when we have waited through winter. We got through it as a downtown, and now we're ready for people to come back out. And unfortunately, it's been delayed another month.
Milford City Manager Mark Whitfield says there was a narrow time frame to start the project in the spring and lay concrete while temperatures are not too hot or cold. And with the popular Bug and Bud Festival approaching at the end of the month, organizers changed the festival's layout to accommodate the project.
The road is closed much wider than we thought it was going to be when we planned the festival. We regrouped, we managed to work around it. It just would have been very uncomfortable for people to have to walk around with no sidewalks and things like that.
The city manager tells us the project is currently ahead of schedule. Weather permitting, it will be completed by the middle of next week before the Bug and Bud Festival on April 27th. In Milford, Kirsten Clark, WBOC News, Delmarva's news leader.
As we roll on here at 6 o'clock, a breakdown of Philadelphia's potential path to the NBA playoffs and their matchup tonight. Some of us got a bit of rain today as we look live into Easton from our Hertrick Automotive camera. Dan says showers are still in the forecast tonight. And up next, pedestrian improvements underway in St. Michael's, why one business there says they felt blindsided by the work. We'll be right back.
You're watching WBOC News at 6 with Steve Hammond, Chief Meteorologist Dan Satterfield, and Chopper 16.
In St. Michael's, an ongoing project to upgrade sidewalks along Talbot Street, seen here from Chopper 16, continues to snarl traffic in the tourist town. Contractors were supposed to complete the project last year, but several errors forced the Maryland Department of Transportation to hire a new contractor to fix the problems. However, it's not just the snarled traffic that's frustrating people there. It's also a lack of communication from MDOT about exactly when work will happen at a given location. That has some tempers flaring.
This isn't just affecting businesses, it's also affecting residents. I do have a neighbor of mine who came to see his yard torn up because of a mistake made with the last contractor.
New tonight at 7 o'clock, we will introduce you to one Talbot Street business owner who shows us why he thinks MDOT's unclear communications ruined his Monday business there in St. Michael's. As we continue, a bit of a gloomy day out there with some on and off showers. A live look right now into Rehoboth Beach from our Boardwalk Plaza hotel camera. Dan says the rest of the work week is looking pleasant, though. He's got the forecast up next.
I'll be honest with you, the forecast is still a bit murky. I'm going to go with what I'm thinking right now. It's cloudy now. That's our Tyndall's Furniture camera, Art League in West Ocean City, looking off to the west there. It's going to stay fairly cloudy tonight. We may even see a shower or two. In general, the showers will be gone by daybreak. The clouds will linger tomorrow. The weekend does look a bit cooler, too. On radar, some sprinkles over southern Delmarva right now, and then maybe some down in Nancock. A lot of that may not be reaching the ground. Off to the west, mean storms moving in across Ohio. Tornado watch out for the Pittsburgh area down into West Virginia. That line of cells will stay to our north, but notice the clouds in our neck of the woods are pretty much thick, and they're going to hang in for the rest of the night, I believe. There's a big upper level low moving up across the Great Lakes today. That's causing the severe weather across Ohio and West Virginia, maybe even into western Pennsylvania. That will lift on by. This stationary front to our south is going to try to come up to the north tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to make it. It's going to kind of stall. We'll still have some cloud cover with some sun. 72 is the high in Georgetown, 74 in Salisbury. Normal high is 66. So yet another day way above the average for this time of the year. Now near the water, it's different. 54 right now in Rehoboth Beach. So almost a 20-degree temperature difference between the coast and inland. And that southeast wind off the water is why the beaches are so chilly. So tomorrow what happens is we go to a northerly wind by afternoon that'll turn to the northeast. If we get a little sun, we may make the low 70s, Cambridge and Salisbury, Georgetown, you're going to probably stay in the 60s. And then Dover, a wind off the bay, 61. The beaches may stay in the 50s all day. So a dramatic temperature difference across Delmarva tomorrow. I have to give you that range because that's what's going to happen. Then tomorrow night, the marine layer comes in. Cool layer of ocean air. Cool, moist, misty. Clouds will linger on Friday, maybe a sprinkle. We may not get out of the 60s, and we may have trouble getting to the 60s, certainly on the beaches on Friday. So tonight, pretty straightforward. Spotty showers, nothing heavy, down to 57. The winds will stay out of the south for the most part, and there'll be more east on the beaches. Then tomorrow, this is for the warm spots. 69 at noon, some sun, and 72 with the north wind, 8 to 16 at 3 o'clock. But if you're in Dover, if you're near the ocean, this is your forecast. 57, mostly cloudy, a northeast wind at around 11 to 16 miles per hour. We may see some breaks of blue tomorrow, but there's going to be a lot of cloud cover. So mostly cloudy to partly sunny is the better forecast. Now, the DSN Outdoor Expo is Friday and Saturday. I'm looking at that forecast as well. Saturday's high is 70. Just looking at late data, that's pushing it. We might get there if we get a little sun. More than likely, we're going to stay in the 60s. And Friday in the 60s as well. Quite a bit of cloud cover, but I don't think we're going to see much, if any, rain. Let's talk about the next 7 days. Notice here, the normal high is 67. 72 tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy. 66, cool marine layer Friday, and that's 56 on the beaches. And then Saturday, 68, mostly cloudy, still quite a bit of marine air around. Sunday is a cloudy day with cooler air and more of a marine layer behind the front. And then Monday, some sunshine before the clouds come back on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we start to clear out and we jump back up above normal with the high of 70. Steve?
All right, Dan, thank you. News at 6, we'll be right back. But first, Chopper 16 flies over Accomack County. Here's Lauren Hitch with tonight's Proud to Serve.
Once called the gem of the Eastern Shore is the historic town of Onancock. Let's fly over with Chopper 16.
Onancock was founded in 1680 and was known as Port Scarborough. The area is one of King James's original 12 royal ports. For over 250 years, Onancock was known as the trade center of the Eastern Shore, as many steamboats would come through the town to drop off passengers and goods. Today, the town has several places on the National Register of Historic Places. It is known as a peaceful town with beautiful architecture throughout. Onancock is the perfect place if you're looking to dive into rich history or just take in the views.
WBOC is proud to serve the town of Onancock and all of Accomack County, and proud to be sponsored by Johnny Gymnastics Outlet and Clearance Center, Route 13 Laurel, and Dover, with a large unique selection of in-stock furniture and mattresses up to 70% off. Floor samples, closeouts, one-of-a-kind finds, unique finds that you can take home today. I'm Lauren Hitch with Chopper 16.
Sports, the Philadelphia 76ers' first of 2 shots at the NBA playoffs begins tonight. Plus, see if the O's could capture their 4th straight home win today. Here's DSN's Michelle Roberts.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Tonight, the 76ers take on the Miami Heat in the NBA play-in tournament to earn the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs. If Philly wins, they will play the Knicks in the first round. If they lose tonight, they take on the winner of the Bulls versus the Hawks for the 8th seed spot, and a first-round matchup versus the Celtics. Tip-off is at 7 tonight. To the MLB, the Baltimore Orioles trying to sweep the Minnesota Twins at Camden Yards today.
In the first, Gunnar Henderson cranks it to right center field, a solo shot to put Baltimore on the board, his 3rd homer in 3 games. In the 7th, Manuel Margot on first for Minnesota, and Austin Martin lines it into the gap. Margot with aggressive base running, going for home, and a wild throw by Henderson allows the Twins to tie it. The O's turn at bat. Anthony Santander sails it over left center. Birdland erupts, and it's a 2-2 game. To the 9th, Cedric Mullins entertains, crushing a 2-run walk-off homer to right, giving the O's a 4-2 victory.
That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
And another reminder, the DSN Outdoors Expo happening at the Delaware Fairgrounds this weekend. Discover a wide range of outdoor essentials. There's also going to be some food trucks, classic car displays, and more. It begins at 4 p.m. on Friday, runs till 8 o'clock Friday night, and then continues again on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We hope to see you in Harrington at the DSN Outdoors Expo. We'll be right back. Salisbury Zoo welcoming a new deer. Visitors can now check out 9-month-old Rosie. This is the zoo's second white-tailed deer. Here's the story. Officials say she was illegally taken from the wild as a baby, and she was just too comfortable around people to be released back into the wild. The zoo can only add deer if they are deemed unreleasable and they already live on Maryland's eastern shore. And you can see Rosie with the Salisbury Zoo's other deer, Zoe, as well as Nigerian dwarf goats, Bert and Ernie.
Gotta go see her, huh? All right, here's a look at the forecast. Overnight, cloudy, maybe a shower or two. We'll drop into the mid-50s. That's 10 degrees above the average for this time of the year. Tomorrow, clouds up, quite a bit of cloud, maybe a glimpse of the sun, 70 to 72. But if you're near the water, you'll be only in the low 60s at best. Friday, a cloudy day, mid-60s, beaches stay in the 50s all day. The weekend, a lot of clouds, but little in the way of rain. So some good news there, but a little closer to normal for this time of the year by Sunday.
Thanks for joining us, everybody, here for the News at 6. For news anytime, please turn to our news app or our website. Much more coming your way in 30 minutes for the News at 7. We hope you'll join us then. Have a great night.